This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, ho there. It's Jeff Carter. I've been welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. It's time to start a new month. Just a heads up, there will be a lot of baseball that will be in October. Of course, just the Fall Classic and all that. So, anyway, just giving you a warning. Anyhow, this is a baseball moment that isn't playoff stuff. In 1961, as everyone knows, there was a great home run chase between Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris, trying to get to the Babe's 60 home run mark. 1961 was a 1961 was a desperate year, and all that. So, yeah, that's a lot of things. When you look at things, is that Maris was the defending American League MVP. He came over from the Kansas City Athletics in a deal that a lot of people figured was kind of cheating because the Yankees owners actually had the ballpark owned in Kansas City. So basically, people said there was collusion between Kansas City and the Yankees because the Yankees always came out on good terms for trades, and then they just send their old, worn down people like Don Larson to the A's. Well, it's no joke that Kansas City was actually a New York Yankees hotbed for minor league talent. So anyway, Mickey Mantle was no slouch either. He was a great home run hitter too. And the families and all that. So Maris and Mantle were trying to hit 61 home runs. That would beat the Babe's record. Now, 61 was also known as the fact that for the first time in history, there would be more than 16 teams in baseball. Usually you had the 8 American League and 8 National League teams. But in 1961, the American League expanded to Minnesota and to Washington and Los Angeles. Minnesota picked up the old Washington Senators franchise, and then baseball not wanting to see Washington not host baseball, decided to give them an expansion franchise. The want of the U.S. Capitol. That would be an overriding theme after that Washington Senators team moved to Texas in 1971. As is, the LA Angels were basically meant for West Coast stuff. But the problem was, unlike the Dodgers Giants move in 1958, that there was one West Coast team in the American League, two in the National League. The National League, if you went to LA to play a series, you would go to San Francisco, and basically it'd be easy. Anyway, well, Roger Maris would not start out that well. He had to wait till his 11th game to get his first home run, and that was off of Detroit's Paul Wojtek. However, in May, he would heat up, hitting 12 home runs in the month of May to get to 12. So 12 home runs in the first 41 games in the first few months. June is when he went El Fuego. He put up 15 home runs in June, which was pretty good. And then in July, he touched off for 13 more, hitting 40 home runs in the first 100 games of the season, as he and Mantle were fighting tooth and nail for that thing. Unfortunately, the media was not so kind to Maris. Basically, everyone knew Mickey Mantle was the good guy and all that in the pairing of Mantle and Maris. I mean, they were roommates. Mantle and Maris didn't really have any animosity towards each other. But the media played it off, as Mantle is upset that this guy Maris is an outsider who only wore the Yankee stripes for 1 year, 1 or 2 years, actually is trying to steal Mantle's thunder in getting Babe Ruth's record. So, of course, the media gives a lot of issue. So anyhow, Maris was starting to get into things. He lost his hair. So anyway, 11 home runs, made it 51 home runs by September. And then in a critical 3-game series against the Tigers to start September 61, because the Tigers were aiming for the division, he went deep twice off of Detroit pitcher September 2nd. He got to 54 off of Tom Chaney of Washington. September 20th was a big day because this was game number 154. Now, officially they say it's game 155 because the Yankees technically had a tie because of a rainout. But remember, in the case of a rainout, the statistics do keep going. Like, they do get capped. So anyway, he faced Mil Pappas of the Orioles and hit a home run in the 3rd inning for number 59. However, baseball decreed that if anyone hits 60 home runs, it has to be in the 154 games that Babe Ruth had to do it in because, expansion expanded by 162 games. So basically, with everyone going against Maris, including, Babe Ruth's widow, and even Fort Frick, and with Mickey Mantle hurt and couldn't really play, Maris had to jump up and hit home run. He missed the 60th by inches. He did hit number 60, but in game 159 against Jack Fisher. And then it was the 4th inning of the Yankees' final game against the Boston Red Sox. These two teams were basically, huge and all that. Final day of the season, 1961. The Red Sox, who usually did well, were in no mood. Were not really close. The Yankees won the division, so they still had their big guns out. They still had Bobby Richardson, Tony Kubek, Roger Maris, Yogi Berra, Johnny Blanchard, Alston Howard, Moose Goodrun, and Ken Kleber, out there to get some at bats. No score through 4 innings, and the Red Sox had Tracy Stallard at the plate pitching. He was only 2-6 to start the season, and then Maris comes up in the 4th and whacks a home run to right field. Everyone was in right field trying to catch home run number 61. Left field was sparsely there. So in front of only 23,000 fans, which is weird because Yankee Stadium, how the hell did Yankee Stadium only have 23,000 fans in that one game? I guess because they knew that nothing would be decided. But unfortunately, it was. Roger Maris poked a home run off Stallard. And Sal Durante, I think that's his name, he was 19 years old, caught the home run ball and got $10,000 for it. Something like that. Anyway, that was actually the only run for the Yankees as they ended up winning 1-0 as Jack Stafford won his 14th game of the year. So it was over. Maris had the home run record, but an asterisk was next to his name. A lot of people figured that it was just sour grapes that, Fort Frick would do such a thing like that. I understand the prospect, but I think Fort Frick basically owed it to Babe Ruth, his best friend, to try to make sure that no one broke the Babe's record. And if they did, there'd be an asterisk next to them. Getting Babe Ruth's legacy 60 years ago. Maris wouldn't do that good at the World Series. Yes, he hit a game-leading home run against the Reds in Game 3 of the World Series to basically give the Yankees a big win. Mickey Mantle played through the pain and all that, and the Yankees did win the World Series in 5 games over the Reds. But Maris was haunted by the media's perspective. He basically just was a quiet, awkward person. But in New York, you can't have that. You have to be a media baron and all of that. Maris would suffer through a lot of things until he was finally traded from the Yankees in '66 to the St. Louis Cardinals, where he helped the Cardinals win the 1967 World Series before retiring. Roger Maris would sadly die young in 1985, my birth year. That was just so sad and all that. The Yankees just basically vilified Maris and make Mantle the good guy in their graces. But Mantle, when he had liver problems, said that don't be a hero like me. He basically said that he was not the hero that everyone should have had. Mantle would die in 1995. However, you know, Roger Maris still, when he died, he still had that asterisk next to him. However, in 1991, in one of the last moves he made before being forced out of office, Faye Vincent, the commissioner, decreed in 91 at the same hearing as they said that any no-hitter pitched by a player with less than 9 innings or the pitcher lost it after 9 innings would not get credit for it. A lot of no-hitters were lost in the shuffle, including one in 1990 by the Yankees. I forget the guy's name. By Andy Hawkins, losing a game 4-0 to the White Sox. He only had to pitch 8 innings because it was in Chicago, but yeah, too many errors. But in that same thing, the fate of Roger Maris's mark was there as Faye Vincent decreed that the asterisk would be taken off and that the home run record will be Maris's forever. But 6 years too late because Maris's death. And then came Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa to shatter that in 1998. A lot of speculation had happened because, the baseballs were a little more livelier. It was the steroid era, and baseball probably did that on purpose because they needed the fans to come back after the 91st strike. And of course, we all know Barry Bonds having 73 home runs in one season is the record. I refuse to recognize that. He cheated. McGwire cheated. Sosa cheated. Everyone who hit more than Maris' 61 home runs in a season has cheated. Maris is a pure champion, and you can bank on that. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.